Hello everyone, it's Lazarus here and that time has come again. Now that the dust has settled, I'll be reviewing the final episode of Peacemaker Season 2. It's been a long 8 weeks and we've finally reached the end. I actually really enjoyed this finale even though it's been quite divisive amongst fans and critics. It currently holds the lowest IMDb rating of the season with a score of 6.7. If you haven't already, make sure to subscribe for more food and entertainment reviews. We're on a mission to hit 100 subscribers. Now let's get into it. This episode is titled Full Nelson and is directed by James Gunn himself. It runs for 57 minutes, making it the longest episode of the season. There's a lot to unpack here, including the introduction of Checkmate, a major DC faction, and the Salvation storyline from the comic book run. We open with Chris and Harcourt at Big Belly Burger, having a great time together. They get intoxicated and eventually head outside onto the pier. Harcourt nearly gets into a fight, but Chris steps in and calms the situation. On the pier, Chris notices the rock cruise featuring the band Nelson. This is the boat that's been teased all season. Later in the episode, we finally see what that was all about. Then the opening credits roll. We see Chris in a prison cell, picking up right where we left off in the last episode after his arrest. He refuses all visitors and sends the guard away. Meanwhile, at Luthor's base, Argus agents are exploring the quantum unfolding chamber, something we see throughout the episode. Flag is searching for the Salvation universe, a dimension where he plans to send all metahuman villains, those too dangerous to be held at Belle Reve or Arkham. It appears this is Lex Luthor's idea, and it's heavily implied that he intends to eventually trap Superman there with no way of returning. The agents search through the doors one by one, leading to a hilarious interaction between Flurry and Klein. Flurry calls the stripper that was with Klein Mothra, a fun Godzilla reference.
And Mothra-like, with these big Pepe Le Pew heart-shaped eyes.
Harcourt gets a nickname too, which was Blondie. They eventually open door 22, which seems promising, but hides a dark secret. This universe is crawling with imps, and one of them brutally unalives Klein by biting his face off. It was surprisingly dark. Later we discover there are many alternate universes. A Skull Spider universe, a Black Hole Earth, a zombie universe, and several others. Incredible world building here. Moving on, Economos and Harcourt go looking for Eagly and find him hiding in a closet. He's been depressed ever since Chris got locked up. Adebayo visits Adrian and tries to convince him to use his blood money to help get Chris out. She says to him, take something bad and make something good out of it. Later, they use that same money to establish Checkmate, a new agency straight from DC Comics. Upon finding and securing Salvation, Rick Flag pitches the idea to the US government, who surprisingly approve it. Flag seems genuinely changed in this episode, more grounded and more calculated. You can see his team experiencing a shift in loyalty too. He comes very close to Lex Luthor's team from Superman. Bordeaux approaches Harcourt and tells her everything that has happened at Argus. We then cut back to the concert on the boat, where Harcourt and Chris share an intimate moment, but Harcourt quickly leaves, leaving Chris heartbroken. Later, Harcourt asks Bordeaux if she has Peacemaker's clearance, and they use the chip in his brain to locate him right under Argus's nose. Economos distracts the Argus agents while Bordeaux and Harcourt check on the system. They find him at a motel, but Vigilante goes as far as tackling and tasing him to stop him from escaping. Chris has a big heart-to-heart moment with everyone. Some of the best acting of the season, especially from Danielle Brooks as Adebayo. She absolutely shines here, reminding us just how talented she is. She even has a powerful scene where she breaks up with her partner, adding emotional depth. When they leave the house, Chris asks Harcourt again if the boat meant anything to her. She replies, of course it did. It meant everything. Chris returns to the motel and starts dancing joyfully. The Foxy Shazam theme kicks in and we get a second concert sequence. We see the 11th Street kids setting up their new agency, Checkmate, using all of Adrian's blood money. They recruit Bordeaux, Flurry and even Judo Master. Everyone looks genuinely happy, especially Chris and Harcourt, and we even see Eagly flying past. Eagly also gives Economos a warm hug later. That moment was truly heartwarming. Flory has been absolutely smashing it with the comedy this season. His scene with Adrian about Spider-Fax had me laughing hard. I'm really hoping we get to see those two paired up again in the future. Everything seems to be going perfectly for Peacemaker until he returns to the motel. He is suddenly kidnapped by Argus and Flag. They take him into Salvation, release his cuffs, and Chris asks what's happening. Flag reveals that Chris volunteered to be there, claiming they have his signature. Flag finishes by saying, "This is for Ricky, you piece of S."
This is for Ricky. You piece of shit.
He locks Chris inside, walks away with a smirk, and we cut to Peacemaker trapped, surrounded by dinosaur roars and other strange sounds echoing through Salvation. What an ending to the season. There are two end credit scenes here, one that continues the Rick Flag Salvation proposal, and then the second one which is Economos' distraction moment where he makes the agent laugh. Personally, I really enjoyed this season finale. I think it sets up some exciting things to come. Harcourt finally admits her feelings for Chris even after everything they've been through. Rick Flag finally gets his revenge and traps Peacemaker in Salvation, and the 11th Street Kids establish checkmate, a great nod to DC's deeper lore. For me, the real emotional finale was episode 7, but this episode still delivered on setup and closure. Fans were expecting another big cameo at the end of the season, but sadly we didn't get one. The soundtrack was excellent in this episode. We got some absolute bangers like Someone Special by Hardcore Superstar, F in My Heart in the Arse by Steel Panther, We're Not Gonna Take It by D. Snyder, Only My Heart Talking by Alice Cooper, and Reckoning by The Cruel Intentions. And then live during the concert scenes, we got Oh Lord by Foxy Shazam and To Get Back to You by Nelson. Overall, this season was solid, though not quite as strong as season 1 in my honest opinion. I really enjoyed the addition of Tim Meadows and Sol Rodriguez, and Robert Patrick was incredible once again. We got to see John Cena's acting chops in full force, with some great world building from James Gunn. We almost did get a massive cameo. James Gunn even confirmed he spoke to Ryan Reynolds about appearing as Deadpool behind one of the multiversal doors, which would have been monumental. Apparently, Ryan Reynolds was totally on board for it too, but it didn't happen. Still, I think a Marvel DC crossover could be on the horizon soon. I was hoping for an introduction to Deathstroke, but the rumour is he could potentially appear in the Batman 2. I do believe he is massively underutilized. DC are sitting on a goldmine of characters that deserve the spotlight. Marvel has had the upper hand for years, with multiple studios producing films, from Fox to Sony and Disney. But this year marks the first time since 2008 that a DC movie actually outperformed a Marvel release at the box office, which is huge. I'm genuinely looking forward to seeing more of Nicholas Holt's take on Lex Luthor. He's quickly becoming one of the standout talents in the DCU, and his performance so far has been nothing short of exceptional. With recent rumours circulating about Netflix potentially acquiring Warner Brothers, it'll be interesting to see how the future of the DC universe unfolds. So what did you all think of the finale and the season as a whole? Drop your thoughts down in the comments below. And as always, if you enjoyed this review, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and ring that bell so you don't miss out on future videos. We're also aiming to hit our first big milestone of 100 subscribers, and we truly appreciate your support in helping us get there. Thanks for watching, and I shall see you all in the next one.